Most of you probably have the same reaction that I did. The Migos? No way, they're from the north side. Well, I did my research and there's no such thing as the north side of Atlanta. And even if there was one, the Migos wouldn't even be from it either. That's because the Migos are not even from Atlanta. And yes, I realize that Atlanta is considered to be anything within the Highway 285 circle, but the Migos are from a suburban city called Lawrenceville, Georgia. Lawrenceville is located about 45 minutes away from Atlanta. Well, so what, right? Well, Lawrenceville is one of the quietest and lowest crime cities in all of Georgia. In fact, Gwinnett County has a homicide rate of just 3 per 100,000. That's over 10 times lower than the city of Atlanta, where the rate is 33 per 100,000. So it's safe to say that the famous trap stars grew up very, very far away from the trap. But you know what? Everyone has a different story, so this doesn't necessarily mean anything, right? Well, let's take a deep dive into the history of the Migos. Well, after doing some research and reading plenty of articles and public records, I found some very interesting information. Let's start with Offset. His birth name is Kiari Cephas and he grew up in a nice subdivision in Lawrenceville, Georgia. According to multiple news articles and Facebook profiles, his mother and stepfather are both graduates of Florida A&M University. And on top of this, his stepfather is a successful real estate agent and home renovator. He's even quoted as saying that Offset talks street in his interviews, but he doesn't talk like that when he comes home. He would also go on to say that being from the streets is part of his career narrative. But his stepfather wasn't the only one to say something like this. An Atlanta hip-hop producer was even quoted as saying that the Migos are a media stunt. So you know what? Still, maybe this wasn't enough to convince you. Well, then I came across a video of Offset as a backup dancer for Whitney Houston and TLC. You guys can make your own judgments on him. And again, all of this is on the internet if you guys think I'm lying. So that's enough about Offset. Let's dive into Quavo now. Quavo's childhood was a little bit different. He was born in Athens, Georgia, which is the college town of the University of Georgia. Sadly, his father passed away at a young age, so his mom was left to raise him alone as a hairdresser. And that's where his cousin Offset comes into play. Offset's parents helped raise Quavo and he spent much of his childhood with them. Quavo was a star football player at Berkmar High School in Gwinnett County. He was a talented quarterback and even broke league records in yards and touchdowns. But after high school, he chose a different path. Now, as far as what kind of path, I have no idea. But according to their music, it must have been a treacherous one. I guess they dove into the mean streets of Lawrenceville, Georgia. Anyways, now let's talk about Takeoff. Well, do we have to? Nah, not really, we'll skip him. But overall, let's be honest. The Migos are hard and they have made anthems for the past 10 years now. You can't deny their talent and that their music has been extremely influential. They're honestly some of the best rappers of our generation. But this is Swamp Stories and we stand on truth no matter what. I will call a spade even if I'm a fan of you.